This classic episode of the Electric Playground is brought to you by P&P Games, your source for everything video games. Support the partners that support Electric Playground. Remember, this episode first aired in 2001. Welcome to the Electric Playground. We're your ticket to the inside track of the video game industry.
That's right. Each week, EP takes you behind the scenes and all the latest and greatest video games headed your way.
Today on the show, we take a look at Jet Set Radio Future for the Xbox. We climb inside the giant robots of Gundam. We're on the run with Smugglers Run 2. And Tommy and I take our reviews to the zoo.
What happens when you combine graffiti, inline skating, and Microsoft's Xbox? You get Jet Set Radio Future.
Hey, we're here at SEGA of America. I'm with Rich Briggs, and we're going to be talking about Jet Set Radio Future. This game is actually a sequel to a very cool Dreamcast game.
Yes.
Tell me what's different from the Xbox version of Jet Set Radio from the Dreamcast version of Jet Grind.
Well, the Xbox game is a sequel. It's got a lot of the same characters that you knew from Jet Grind Radio, which was on Dreamcast. It's got a lot of the same locations, but using the power of the Xbox, you can have a lot of updated look to the characters. They've kind of aged, and also the levels are just a lot larger. You can really see off into the distance. They're all interactive, so you can skate up the side of a building, pull off a trick, and just explore all over the city.
Is it the same kind of gameplay? Are people going to feel very familiar in this Xbox version of the game?
Yes, it's still the core of the game it's all about extreme skating, and it's all about extreme style. This is a group of kids that are expressing themselves in the form of graffiti, and as a way to kind of throw off the shackles of this oppressive government, they roam around in their street gangs, they tag their areas, they compete with rival gangs, and all the while they've got these insane inline skates that allow them to just, like I said, skate up the side of a building, skate along the light poles, skate along the telephone wires, you name it, anywhere that they get to the next tag area.
Now, is the tagging control the same? Are you pressing buttons and moving the controller around a little bit?
Instead of having to stop and do a sequence, you actually just make a pass, you pull one of the triggers, and that'll spray graffiti over a certain area.
Now, the style of this game is really quite unique. It has a thing called cell shading.
Yes.
Explain that process a little bit.
Well, the way that works is that you take a figure and you place it on a background that is completely 3D, but you give the character itself kind of a 2D look. You draw a black line around it to give it sort of a comic book flair, and that's inspired by a lot of anime. Obviously, the team that made this is SmileBit. They're a very hip team. They're very, cutting edge in a lot of the techniques that they use, and so they really wanted to give the game a feel that wasn't like anything else that was out there.
Tell us a little bit more about these characters.
There are a lot of the same characters have kind of returned, and again, they've got that sort of older, more gritty feel to them.
Yeah.
You've also got some new characters, mostly in the form of villains. DJ K, the original DJ, is back, and he is still broadcasting his pirate radio station. So he'll be introducing kind of the level, letting you know what the mission is, and also playing the soundtrack for you to groove to.
Is the DJ a playable character in the game?
We're not talking about that right now.
Yes, he is. Yeah, in fact, he is playable.
Today on Question of the Week, John from Sacramento, California asks, why don't North American consoles play Japanese video games?
The reason why you can't play Japanese games in America is because each country has its own company that takes care of its own bottom line. In America, you have Sony Computer Entertainment America watching out for its revenues, while in Japan, you have another Sony worrying about its bottom line. There are also licensing problems. For example, in Japan, there's a character called Pepsi Man, which we don't have in the US. Reason being, an American company who wants to release a Pepsi Man game would have to get the license from Pepsi.
If you have a question about the video game industry, visit our website at www.electplay.com, or if you're mobile, wap.electplay.com.
DTS has been doing 5.1 digital sound in the movie industry since 1993. Well, since then, they've branched out into a whole bunch of different areas. Now, they're talking about getting involved in the video game industry. I'm here with David DelGrosso, head of marketing for DTS. I opened up my PlayStation 2 last Christmas and I saw the DTS logo on it. Tell me about that.
Well, I think at the moment, one of the advantages of the DTS capability in PlayStation 2 is to actually watch the movies and be able to channel that 6-channel information into your system. But it's certainly not the end of the story, and yes, there are many video games being developed as we speak in 5.1 surround.
5.1 means what?
For the home, the industry decided to take on a new terminology, 5.1, for a reason. One of the channels is a subwoofer, deep bass. And we don't want people to expect trumpets coming out of the subwoofer, so we had to separate it. So it's really 5 full-range channels plus a subwoofer. And the 5 channels are left, center, right, rear left, rear right, and then the sub.
I'm here with John Kirchner, president of DTS. Tell me, what's the mission statement of DTS?
DTS's goal is really to become essential to the ultimate entertainment experience, because we believe that anywhere you find high-quality audio, you should find DTS.
Tell me about DTS and the relationship with video games. Where do we stand?
You know, video games has long been what we consider to be the holy grail of entertainment applications for 5.1, because it's not just that there's a film or a video element and not just a music element, but you mix those two things with effects. And I think we've long been trying to get to the point where the delivery platforms are ready to accept 5.1, and there's enough of an installed base of surround systems that can support that.
The big hurdle here is getting the sound effects to play real time in 5.1.
It's a little trickier with video games because of the interactivity. The technology had to be evolved, and there's different code involved in writing it in a way where the transition into video games makes sense to the end user.
You know, there's been so much focus in video games on video elements. You know, how do we increase the number of polygons? How do we make better resolution? Audio has long been considered, you know, to be at its peak. It couldn't get any better, and that was audio in terms of 3D stereo. Today we sit here and we go, you know, we're going to leave that in the dust, and finally the audio is going to catch up to the video experience, which is going to take the person into a whole new realm.
After the break, it's Smugglers Run 2.
Lee from P&P Games here. Imagine my shock when I discovered my treasured copy of Strider for the Sega Genesis was missing its instruction manual. P&P Games had my back. Your source for everything video games. Past and present game stocks not only the latest and hottest console video games and accessories, but also cases and manuals, a la carte, and other merchant goodies to make your collection more complete. Visit our 3 retail store locations in Winnipeg, Manitoba, or support us online at pnpgamesonline.com, where we support the electric playground. Thank you for taking the time every Saturday morning to watch EP Classic with us. Now, let's get you back to the show. Play forever!
Hey, Smugglers Run was one of the coolest first-generation PlayStation 2 games out there, brought to us by the folks over at Angel Studios.
Hey, I think he's over there!
Make sure you check out Smugglers Run 2!
Hey, I'm here with Dave McGrath, who is one of the guys from Angel Studios working on Smugglers Run 2. Oh, you're taking me off-roading here?
Yeah, it's a little trail I sometimes have to take.
But the seatbelt's not working. Dave?
Don't worry about that.
All right. Well, I want to find out more about this game anyway. So, Dave, what's different about Smugglers 2 that we didn't see in Smugglers 1?
Well, pretty much everything's been redesigned from the ground up. It's an entirely new game. It's as if all the cars have evolved. The old buggy that everyone really liked is now the super buggy. What was called the military vehicle is now called the Grenadier. It's a super huge double diesel engine Russian hybrid machine. You'll see a lot of that.
You're going to be going through the jungles, I imagine.
Yeah, we have jungles, and actually we're really pleased to find that we actually were able to create jungles. A lot of games aren't, you know, the vegetation level is just too high, but with our technology, we actually were able to do it.
Watch out for the squirrel! One of the coolest things about the first Smugglers Run was the AI of the pursuers. Have you guys beefed that up?
Vehicles not only just chase you all out, but they also can break off and handshake onto another group of AI. So they're all working together, and they're very tough to beat. The new thing we're introducing is countermeasures. You can drop oil slicks and smoke screens.
You guys did a split screen thing last year. Are you doing split screen again this year, or what are you doing?
Yeah, that was probably my favorite part of the whole process.
Dave, what's your favorite car in the game?
The rally car, actually. It's kind of an oddball, but it's so incredibly fast, and I just love it.
Are you guys adding more levels and more things to see and do to this game than you had in last year's game?
Yeah, just a second, let me lose these guys here. Sorry about this. This is a little detour here.
Dude,
Sorry about
it's
that.
just an interview I wanted.
We got cops.
I didn't
okay?
want to. Dan, the door's opening up here, man. What's going on?
Locks don't work. Don't worry about that.
Dave!
Hang on, buddy. Hang on, buddy.
What are you doing? What's going on? Vic, where are you? Vic?
He must have fallen out. Poor guy.
Arnica from New Orleans wants a code for Star Wars Super Bombad Racing for PlayStation 2. Press square, circle, triangle, circle, square at the main menu. A message will appear if you've entered it correctly. Now the universe's most fearsome bounty hunter, Boba Fett, is yours.
If you'd like to request a specific code or cheat, visit our website at www.electplay.com, or if you're mobile, wap.electplay.com.
Hi, my name is Kyle Leifat, and I work with Visual Concepts as the Assistant Project Manager on NBA 2K2. My job entails things such as the roster database, rating the players, gameplay design. I'm in touch with the NBA, getting approval, getting art assets, and getting mocap talent to come in. One of the jobs of the Assistant Project Manager is that I have to take screenshots from time to time for different gaming magazines. I go into instant replay mode, and I get the angle that I want. And right here we have Glenn Robinson from the Milwaukee Bucks. I press a button on the keyboard, and within about 30 seconds an image pops up, and that's your screenshot. What you see here is the roster database. It includes every player in the NBA. I'd say there's about 50 different columns in the database, ranging from their name, how well a shooter they are, from three-point range, free throw line, basically any data on the player in the game. We try to reflect all the nuances of the players in the NBA.
The giant robots are next in Gundam.
Hey, what's your favorite racing video game of all time? Far out! Shop PNPGamesOnline.com and watch EP Classic every Saturday morning. I almost forgot. Play forever!
You guys video game fans?
I used to play back in the day when it was easy, but now they're too complicated. Like Atari, ColecoVision, and television, but now I
Old
can't
school.
play it. Yeah, I'm old school.
What games from back in those days did you like?
Space Invaders. I used to play football. I used to play Mario Brothers. I used to play Punch Out. Those are the games.
Did you guys have like some serious battles playing games against
I used
each
to
other?
want to kick his ass because every time I would win, he'd reset.
Really?
Yeah.
So who's a better game player here out of you two?
I'll whoop his ass.
Really?
I saw. All the resets came in handy.
For more than 20 years, Bandai has been entertaining the world with tales of giant robot battles in the Gundam universe. Well now, the world of Gundam is coming to the PlayStation 2. And we've got the inside look at the first two games.
We're here today at Bandai. Now, Bandai is the fleet headquarters for the Gundam universe. You might not be able to afford one of these guys to ride around in, but you could probably afford a Gundam game. It's become this worldwide phenomenon. I mean, it's anime, it's action figures, it's everywhere. Why?
More and more people are being exposed to Gundam, and what they're finding is that there's a real story here. These characters have real depth, and there's also very, very cool giant robots.
Tell me a little bit about this Gundam universe.
The Earth has become severely overpopulated, and so mankind has had to move into space. And after years and years of living in these space colonies, the Principality of Zeon have broken away and declared their independence. Zeon forces have been developing these giant robotic armors called mobile suits. So the Federation, in an attempt to catch up, starts building their own, and the first prototype is the Gundam.
So why is this different from other mech games?
Well, in Gundam Journey to Jabro, the first-person shooter, you take the role of a Federation rookie pilot. There are a lot of different mobile suits that you can play, not just Gundams. There are also some enemy suits that you can unlock. We're looking at a wide variety of combat in cities, in jungles and forests. There's a wide variety of terrain to be covered, and the Zeons are everywhere.
So what are you using to create all this destruction?
Well, you have your weapons. You have your beam saber, which is essentially a laser sword. You also have a very powerful gun called a beam rifle, which is a very powerful laser cannon. And of course, just being as large as you are, you can crush smaller things like tanks and cars just by stepping on them.
What elements of the gameplay are going to make somebody say, you know what, I'm picking up that game, I want that game?
I think the fact that it really is a fast-paced game. It's not just you against one opponent. You're fighting a squad. You have to watch your back, you have to watch your sides, you have to be prepared for anything. There are a lot of surprises in this game.
I hear you've got another one coming out, Zionic Front.
Well, Zionic Front is the second game that we're releasing on PlayStation 2 later this year, and it's actually unique in that it takes the perspective of the Zeons, which have traditionally been portrayed as the bad guys. There's a lot more strategy and tactics to it. You basically are a commander, and you command up to 3 teams with 3 mobile suits each.
Do you have a favorite Gundam?
Yes, I do, actually. It's the Gundam GPO-2A from the Gundam 0083 series.
Why is that?
It's a unique design, it's prototype, and it's the only one that's ever been designed to deliver a nuclear payload.
What was that?
It's the Zeon! Gundam Hashin!
Reviews in the Run are coming up next.
The Game Boy revolutionized break time. I've spent hundreds of hours in the Kanto region of Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow versions. Let me, show you a few spots. Celadon City is objectively the biggest and best city this game has to offer, if based on amenities alone. It's got a gym, a tiered shopping mall, a casino, restaurant, and this, a hotel. This is the only lodgings of its kind in the entire game, and what's more, there's a ghostly, invisible PC in the corner you can interact with. Spooky! Hey buddy, can you get to pnpgamesonline.com on that thing? Shop pnpgamesonline.com for video games, accessories, and more. Free shipping on orders of $65 or more within Canada and the USA. Take care now, and play forever.
We are talking about Namco Museum for the Game Boy Advance. Let me tell you, this game is phenomenal. For all you old school gamers like me, we got Galaxian, we got Galaga, we got Pole Position, we got Dig Dug, and we got Miss Pac-Man. And they really use the whole screen. It's great. The games look really big. It's really easy to control. For Miss Pac-Man, they even allow you to go with the old way of seeing the whole screen, or you can actually scroll up. It's got all of the music and sound effects, which you just love to hear on this. So the biggest question is, how do you say Galaga? Do you say it Galaga or Galaga? But I say Galaga, and it's one of my favorite games, and it is represented so perfect here. The only thing that they could have added that would have made this a perfect 10 would have been if they had a battery and you could save all your high scores. They have all the high score things in here, but when you turn it off, they go away. So really, what's the sense of even having them in the first place? But check it out, it's got them all. This is the one to get, 9.5.
All right, so we're here at the petting zoo because we're going to talk about Zoo Tycoon from Microsoft.
Well, this is a fun game. I mean, what you do basically is you have to build a zoo. And there's lots of different things. You can buy animals like Bengal tigers and giraffes and grizzly bears and alligators.
It's basically like a Sim City style game or a roller coaster tycoon or a Sim theme park style game,
right?
Except that you're building a huge zoo, right? And you have to create all these different exhibits. And there's different environments that you create. So if you want to have penguins, you have to create a snowy environment with some water for them to swim around in.
You also have to provide like a drink stand or restaurants, or there's hot dog, pizza stands, ice cream stands.
Yeah, the secret of the game is to keep your animals happy and also to keep the patrons of your zoo happy. You have to give them lots of value for their money.
I mean, I would say the only problem in this whole thing is that it's exactly like every single other sim game out there.
Yeah.
Now, the graphics aren't spectacular by any means. It really gets a hit for the graphics and kind of the...
I like the sound effects, though. The sound effects are pretty funny.
Especially the screaming children when the tigers are chasing them. That's a great... I give it an 8.
An 8? Yeah, I'm right there with you, too. I give it an 8 as well. I think it will get a little repetitive if you've played a lot of these SimCity games before, but it's unique. There aren't any other zoo simulators that I can think of. What do you think of Klonoa 2 for the PlayStation 2?
Klonoa 2 for the PlayStation 2?
Yeah.
Here's a game that has simple gameplay and great graphics.
But no goats.
True. What more can you ask for in a video game?
Well, I think you can ask for a lot more from a PlayStation 2 video.
Well, okay, fine. Let's get technical.
I think the game sort of hits a niche. If you're wanting to buy a game for a young kid, this is a great sort of starter platformer game.
Right.
But if you're like us, I think you've probably played many, many other games that are exactly the same as this. You're basically hopping on levels and collecting gems and bouncing off bad guys.
The backgrounds are very beautiful.
Oh, it's a gorgeous looking game.
Great lighting effects. The music's good, high production quality.
Absolutely.
You know, it's like I said, it's a great game for kids, and if you love side-scrolling if you love side-scrolling platform games, then you're going to love this.
The best thing about this, though, because they've gone to full 3D on the design of it, how is that? Is that pretty good? You can have the camera placed really high up on certain levels, and then Klonoa will jump off of a cliff or something, and the camera will follow Klonoa all the way down in one smooth motion. It looks beautiful. It's nothing we haven't played before.
Right.
But, you know, it's still fun. There aren't a whole bunch of games like this on the PlayStation 2. I'd still pick Rayman 2 over this game, but Klonoa 2 gets, I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
Yeah,
what do you think?
Exactly what I gave it.
7.5 as well? UGM gave Klonoa 2 an average score of 8.5. What'd you think of Test Drive Off-Road Wide Open from Angel Studios and Infogram, also for the PlayStation 2?
Oh, this is done by the development team who did Smugglers Run.
I'd call this Smugglers Run 1.5.
At this point in the game, we see some great graphics in driving games like Gran Turismo 3. And the graphics in this aren't really as sharp as any of those games.
The graphics in this are beautiful. I'll tell you why, because you can drive anywhere that you see in this game.
Cars and the effects aren't as detailed like as other games are.
It's not as detailed as Gran Turismo, but you've got a much, much more varied and interactive environment than Gran Turismo. This is a straight out and out racing game. You've got licensed off-road vehicles in there like Hummers and Ford Broncos and Chevy Blazers and Jeep Wranglers.
You don't have to just take one path every single time. There's actually shortcuts.
That's the beauty of the game.
For example, there's, if there's a train moving down the tracks, you can like kind of cut a guy off and slam him into a train. You really feel like you get air off the game.
Hey, and you also get speed in this game. And I've been playing these test drive off-road games every year. I've never felt like I've moved this fast. I've never felt like I've had this much freedom to move around and go through all these different shortcuts as I have in this game.
I'll tell you one of the problems in this game, and I hope Infogrames is listening, is that, they put that music in there.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a bunch of screaming. First thing I did, I'll be honest with you, I turned the music right off.
I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10.
I give it a 7.5.
Ah, you're too hard on it. EGM's average score for Test Drive Off-Road was 6. What'd you think of World Series Baseball 2K2 for the Dreamcast?
Well, I'll tell you, this game is a lot more playable than the original World Series game. The thing is that the first game, which was developed over in Japan, looked perfect. So I think they should have just kept all of the great graphics and great motion capture from the previous version and just expand on that. Instead, they started from scratch, and guess what? The motion capture is really good, the graphics are really good, but they're not as good as it was in the other game.
It's a completely different engine. They couldn't just port over all the assets from the last year's game.
What are you talking about? Of course they could.
No, it's a completely different engine. Obviously,
it doesn't matter. Motion capture and graphics have nothing to do with the engine.
Well, last year's game was more like watching a movie than playing a game. I mean, you couldn't interact, you couldn't do any of the outfield stuff. This year's game is streamlined, and it's still very simple to play, but you can control everything, and it makes a huge difference. And I think the best asset of this year's game is the very, very intuitive camera angle. If you get a hit and it goes past third base there out in the left field, the camera follows the ball perfectly. You can trace that ball with your outfielder and pick up the snag.
Well, I'll tell you what was bad about it was the network play. You're trying to throw a pitch, and it just stops, and then you swing and you strike out.
Yeah, baseball is a game of timing. So if you're playing online and there's network lag and you can't tell when the ball's crossing the plate, what kind of game is that? I think it was sort of like a lame sort of let's add network play at the last minute kind of thing.
It's really unplayable, it really is.
But, when you play offline and you have a friend over and you're just playing games, this is a great playing baseball game. And all the other baseball games that are out there don't have online play either. So if you stack it up against triple play on the PlayStation 2 or High Heat, I think this thing comes out better than those games.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this a lot. What would you give World Series 2K2?
I give it an 8. I think there's room to improve it.
I liked it a lot more than that. I would say I'd give it a 9.5. I don't know what they were thinking, but EGM gave it an average score of 5.5. I think if you're looking for baseball for the Dreamcast, you can't do much better than this one.
Okay.
Let's take our oats and get the heck out of town. I feel like Pied Piper.
Attack! Attack!
Come on,
Go
guys.
get him!
Come on.
Attack!
Come on, guys.
Go get it! Chicken! Go get him!
All right, now what do I do?
Rooster!
Okay.
Go!
All
Go!
right. Tommy! Oh!
Go! Attack!
Tommy!
Attack!
Here's a recap on our reviews, including scores from Electronic Gaming Monthly and Computer Gaming World. Visit our website at www.electplay.com, or if you're mobile, wap.electplay.com.
Well, unfortunately, we've run out of show. We're going to have to call it a day.
All right, then. We'll see you next time on the Electric Playground.
It's easier to pick up the controllers and just get right into the game. Okay, I just started saying everything. So I'm here today with Charles McCarter, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the Gundam universe. How you doing today? Dang it. So let's talk to Charles.
Give me that!
This classic episode of the Electric Playground was brought to you by P&P Games, your source for everything video games. Support the partners that support the Electric Playground. Thanks for watching, and play forever.